The Asus ROG Ally is one device that I've been seriously considering buying since it was first launched 2 years ago. It makes sense in a way that it can play almost all your games on the go. Alternatively, you can also use it for work since it runs on Windows. You can install most, if not all, of your productivity apps from Lightroom to Premiere. It was a good combination of work and play. There was just one major issue we had: the battery life. It didn't really last long enough to play on the go, especially for more graphic intensive titles and when you're on turbo mode, and it's a similar story when you need it to work. With that, you'll find yourself looking for an outlet quite often. If you want to know more about our feedback on the OG ROG Ally, we've done a full review which you can check out on the Yucatech website. Today though, we're looking at the updated version of Asus's handheld gaming console, the ROG Xbox Ally. With a similar starting price to the older ROG Ally, is it worth it to upgrade to this new model? Well, let's find out in this review. At first glance, you'll think that the ROG Xbox Ally looks almost identical to the ROG Ally of before. You still get the same 7-inch touchscreen display at the center and an almost identical button layout as before. You have the left analog and D-pad on the left side, while on the right side there's the ABXY buttons along with the right analog. It's a similar story for the bumpers, triggers, and even the rear customizable buttons. The quick action buttons are in the same place too, but here you'll notice the addition of the Xbox button, but more on that later. In terms of the shape of the ROG Xbox Ally, it also gets rid of the boxy design of the OG ROG Ally and Ally X. Instead, the edges are now shaped similar to that of a controller, making it easier to hold while playing. It's a minor design change that makes a huge difference in terms of the feeling. My hands no longer get tired when I'm using the ROG Xbox Ally to play outside, since it feels identical to holding a big controller. With that, you can play for longer without having to worry about your hands getting tired. For reference, I was able to play almost an hour before I needed to find a table because my arms were getting tired of holding the ROG Xbox Ally up. Then again, this isn't exactly the lightest handheld gaming device on the market after all. The ROG Ally weighs 670 grams, which is almost a 70-gram increase compared to the original ROG Ally. But going back, everything you'd find on the ROG Ally is still the same here on the ROG Xbox Ally. Asus did get rid of the proprietary PCIe port similar to the ROG Ally X, and instead you get two USB-C ports located at the top. At the same place, you'll find the volume rocker and the power button that doubles as a fingerprint sensor. So if you've ever used the ROG Ally, you'll definitely feel right at home since everything's where they're supposed to be. At the same time, the new controller-like handles improve ergonomics and comfort since it's just like a big Xbox controller with a screen in the middle. Speaking of the screen, while there are changes to the design of the ROG Xbox Ally, the display is very much the same as before. It's still the same 7-inch touchscreen IPS panel with a 1080p resolution, 500 nits peak brightness, and 120Hz refresh rate. I have no complaints about the display itself since it works decently. It's clear and the colors are quite accurate, similar to what you'd expect on an IPS panel. The touchscreen has minimal lag as well, making it easy to go through the menu. Not to mention, it's protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus for those who have butter hands. Whether you're browsing the net, playing games, or even watching videos, you'll definitely enjoy them on the ROG Xbox Ally. It's very much a nice balance to ensure that the games look great without overstressing the hardware. Still, I can't help but think that Asus could have improved the display even further. I mean, for reference, its competition like the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and even the Switch 2s has larger displays. I mean, I'm sure Asus can make the screen of the ROG Xbox Ally larger too. I mean, there are still thick black borders all around the screen. Make them a bit thinner and you have a larger display to work with. But hey, maybe we'll have to wait until the next generation ROG Ally for that. Now, under the hood, the ROG Xbox Ally packs the new AMD Ryzen Z2 processor with 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 512GB of M.2 storage. If you want a more capable chipset, the ROG Xbox Ally X uses the more powerful Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor and comes with 24GB of RAM. Now, I know what you're thinking. 512GB isn't really enough if you plan on playing a lot of games on this handheld. And you're right. I only installed Genshin Impact and Tokyo Extreme Racer on the ROG Xbox Ally and pretty much ate up all of the space already. Fortunately, there is a micro SD card slot, and before you say it, there's no need to worry about it frying your SD card this time. That's already been addressed since the ROG Ally X came out, but if you want to upgrade internal drive, it is possible to do so as well. In terms of the performance though, it's a bit more capable than the original ROG Ally. Some games which were previously running on low can now be set to the medium on the ROG Xbox Ally. The frame rates are a lot more stable this time around too, and for reference, we ran all our games on turbo mode. I mean, this is an ROG device after all, so max it out. When playing Tokyo Extreme Racer, the game ran really smoothly on medium graphics and at 120 FPS. There wasn't any lag or frame rate drop at all, even though I was driving at high speeds and going through different parts of the city. I tried running it on a higher graphic settings, but I started to experience frame rate drops already. With that, I decided to keep it at a medium to have the best gaming experience possible. As for Genshin Impact, it was able to run the game smoothly at the highest graphic settings available. Whether I'm exploring the world or farming artifacts, there's no FPS drop at all. No doubt, it's more than adequate for continuing the story rather than just doing your dailies and calling it a day. All in all, you can run newer titles on the ROG Xbox Ally. But of course, you still have to set your expectations. This is still a handheld gaming device after all, not a 5090 equipped ROG gaming laptop. So don't expect the highest graphic settings when playing, but for what it outputs, it's more than good. And as for the benchmarks, you can check them out on screen right now. Now, the one thing that made the ROG Ally versatile is the fact that it runs on Windows 11. The ROG Xbox Ally is very much the same, but instead of loading up to Windows, it now boots up to the Xbox UI, hence the name, ROG Xbox Ally. One thing I do need to point out is that if you're not an Xbox user, the Xbox UI isn't exactly the easiest to use, and you will need to take some time to play around with it and get used to it. But when you do get used to it, you can quickly get around to accessing your games. Even if you use other apps to install the games like Steam, it will still pop up on the Xbox UI. The quick access button also makes it easy to go where you want to go. Press the Xbox button and you can even access Steam directly. Steam's big picture mode also works, but you do need to tweak around the settings to get it working. But do note that at the time we tested this out, the ROG Xbox Ally has yet to be released, so there might be some future updates to ensure that everything runs a lot more smoothly. Now, when you're done playing and want to use the ROG Xbox Ally like a laptop, swipe up from the bottom and easily switch to Windows mode. From here, it works just like any Windows laptop, except you have controllers. You can even pair a mouse and keyboard to make life easier, especially if you're gonna be typing. But even without pairing an external keyboard and mouse, the UI is very controller friendly. It's very similar to the Xbox UI, and there are even shortcuts on the keyboard which are mapped to a specific button on the controller side of things. One of the weakest links of the ROG Ally was the battery. It only had a 40 watt-hour battery pack, which didn't really last long, especially when you're playing games. On the ROG Xbox Ally, it's now bigger, packing a 60 watt-hour battery pack. The increase might seem small, but the battery life increase is quite significant. Before, you would easily drain the battery by an hour when playing in turbo mode. Now, it takes almost an hour and 30 to an hour and 40 minutes before you run out of juice. But aside from the bigger battery, I suspect the Xbox UI plays a big part of this too, as in the software side of things, it can close all of the background apps that aren't necessary, and instead it just focuses on playing your game. This means you can play a lot longer with this when you're out and about. But even with the larger battery and the longer battery life, I still recommend bringing the charger with you just in case. It's not that big of a charger since it's only a 65 watt USB-C power brick. Alternatively, you can just bring a power bank and a cable with you if you want to pack a bit lighter. All in all, Asus made some serious improvements to the ROG Xbox Ally as compared to the original ROG Ally. At the same time, it still retains all of the looks and gamer feel of the original handheld device from 2 years ago. With a new processor and a bigger battery, it can now run more graphic-intensive titles and last a lot longer too. Now, if only Asus fitted a bigger screen or even an OLED one, this would have been even better. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Well, the only benefit of its retaining the same display is that the price didn't go up by that much. The ROG Xbox Ally starts at 36,995 pesos, and it already comes with 3 months of free Xbox Game Pass subscription. If you find the performance of the standard ROG Xbox Ally lacking, the X variant retails for 56,995 with a more powerful chip and a larger 80 watt-hour battery. So far though, What do you guys think of the ROG Xbox Ally? Would you cop it, or would you choose a different handheld console for roughly the same price? Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe to watch more. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms at Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And of course, visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Se, this is the ROG Xbox Ally, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, we get to try out the ROG Xbox Ally X soon as well.